I'll discuss this thing more in the next class as well. But the first one, that you are going to create a live clock, right? So it will be reading from your clock, and it will be using by Turtle. Okay, very nice, very easy. You can do that thing, and this will allow you to use Turtle in your software application development as well. That's the first thing. It's easy. That is not that hard actually for us. But please, when we are doing these type of assignments, it is very important that you try to follow the format. We have different colors, okay? So stick with what colors that you have given. You don't come up with a new color that you haven't asked for. This is one of the important thing, being a developer or being a programmer, understanding the requirements of the client. If the client is happy with this red and blue color and green color a little bit in this way, we'd like to create the same way, same sort of thing. You don't come up with a new design to convince your client. Okay, it doesn't work in that way. I like this one, you should give me this one. This is the first thing. So whenever you do it, follow that format. That's the first thing. Then question 2 is actually open-ended question. So anything. You can use an interactive graphical user interface game. So you can build a pie game. You can use any sort of business management application like sales, inventory, library. Okay, you can use any sort of application which is called quiz, note taker, calendar. Don't use calendar, scientific calculator. These are actually something very basic, I should say. Okay, try to get something really good. Applications, system automation scripts. So any sort of applications that you can see that you can generate scripts automatically, you can do that. Image classification, data analysis, image classification if you want to do it, and any other application that you can think you can build actually. So it is completely an open-ended sort of thing. So as I mentioned to you again and again, that think about the IT Code Fair. That's a very, very important platform for all of us. Okay, it's a very important platform. People get jobs from there, and people get a lot of exposure in that IT Code Fair. Okay, so and usually what happens that our class gets a lot of prizes as well. Even they also win the Digital Excellence Award as well a couple of times. Okay, so it's a really good platform. So whenever you come up with the application, this is not only about your assignment, but use this thing as a part of your IT Code Fair. And I think our IT Code Fair is actually on October 27th. That is actually the date. Okay, that is October 27th is our IT Code Fair. And our final exam date is actually October 28th is October. So we have 7 days. So this is actually IT Code Fair and 27th October. So the registration will open, I think, from next week onwards it will open. So please keep an eye and participate in the IT Code Fair. And when you develop an application, make something small, short, sweet, but very sharp. Get some innovative ideas. Okay, get something that reflects Northern Territory. Okay, something local. That will be a really good thing. Now for that you can use Skinter, Pygame, Turtle, Image, whatever you're teaching, anything open. You're allowed to go through the sources and find out, but don't use any advanced tools. Okay, and for example, don't rely on OpenAI tools as well. For example, it will be good if we can avoid that type of things. But something that you have learned from the class and something that you can you understand. Because if we suspect that your software is fantastically well designed, well developed, that will be a suspect for us as well, and we'll call you in, okay, to understand how we actually have written that code. Okay, so we are trying to avoid any sort of copy and paste from the internet. Okay, if we see it's a very complex code that you have written, and I'm quite sure that you don't know that type of code, definitely will call you in. Okay, but yes, if you want to put those code and if you understand them, that's not a problem. Okay, if you understand the sort, I told you that you are open. It's open for you to build the code and everything, but don't copy someone's solution. That is another problem, because we have peoples over here who are very smart in that one. They'll understand. Even reading your code, also they'll understand this is actually not our code. I know that to what extent our 137 students can go, to what extent. But if you think that I'm confident to use that code, but I understand the code very well and I can explain it, then no problem. You can do that as well. So I really don't want to confine your creativity, but on the other hand, I really don't want to encourage you copying something that you are not aware of what is happening. Okay, so you should understand each and every individual line of the code, what actually this code is doing, what, and that's why you need to read a lot about that code as well. Okay, and that will give you a very good mark for your this will give you a mark for your 23 marks, which is actually total 30% mark that you got. and we'll try to give the mark for this assignment just before your exam. Okay, so when is your exam? Is it already there? No, because the final exam timetable will be coming very soon. But I think our exam is in the first week itself, so which is good. In the first week itself, our exam will be there. So I'll talk about the exam questions next week as well, so that have an eye. But now, guys, there is no time for you to rest. Start working on it. One of your group should finish this particular simple this problem, one of your live clock, and the other one should start building. At least you can, because you know how to work with Kinter, you know how to work with turtles, you know how to work with now with images, you can start building blocks. Okay, even if you want to play with a pie game as well, you need some interfaces to play, so Kinter will be a good thing as well. Okay, and if you're not a really good game developer, then you don't need to wait for that one. You can keep on. We're adding modules on a regular weekly basis, but it is up to you whether you're going to use it or not. That's completely up to you. Okay, so start working on developing that thing. As I mentioned, that you guys sit together, plan for something innovative, and start working on it as well. Okay, and that will be really good for all of us. So online students, have you understood what I have said? Is that clear to all of you about the expectations that I am having from your assignment 3? Yes, it is a group work. It is also definitely a group work. Very good. Then that's really good. Then you have understood all the things. So have you understood today's class, guys? Clear? How about you guys? Have you clear understood today's class? Very nice. How about online students? Have you understood today's class? Okay. Now I really want something that you just practice at home, and we'll come back next week with something new as well, and practice with your image processing, and we'll go from there. Okay. And please, guys, try to be here and ask your friends to be here as well next week. Okay. So we'll be having a visitors over here who'll be taking up some sort of feedback session from all of you. So please do come, and I'll also talk about the exam format as well. Right.